Now, we've been to the Museum of Play. It's in Rochester.
Yes. It's awesome. We've been a couple times.
It really is, yeah. Go there and you can see what it is it's a museum.
Yep.
And in the museum, they've got a bunch of toys.
Interactive, adventure features, too, that are good for kids of all ages. And they're really neat.
There's, toys that you probably remember when you were growing up, if you're older, that they have. It's
you've seen
I remember that.
Pictures, like of your parents or grandparents, and the toy is in there, and you're like, what is that? They have those on display. Yeah. So and they have some replicas of them, too, you could play with, but they actually have the antique toys on display, too. So you're like, whoa, look at that.
They have 3 new inductees this year. Number 1 is Light Bright. Remember that one? I remember seeing the commercials for that one.
I had a Light Bright. Actually, it wasn't mine. It was my cousin Tommy's. So it was at my Nana and Grandpa's house. So I would only get to play with it when he wasn't there because I wasn't allowed to touch his things when he was there.
Number 2, Masters of the Universe. I think that was like He-Man and all those, right?
It was He-Man and Skeletor and whatnot.
The cartoon, I remember.
I never had any of the action figures, but some of my friends did. They had the little play action figures with, remember the elbows that bent? Those were like the cool new thing they could do in the 80s where the elbows would bend on the dolls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching the cartoon after school. My brother liked it then.
They even had the big
so.
Castle, like Skeletor's castle.
And then lastly, number 3 is the top.
I'm surprised that wasn't in there.
Spin.
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't been in the Hall of Fame sooner because that is an ancient toy where you literally put it on its end and spin it, and then it whirls and it changes colors on top depending on the design.
Yeah. The ones that didn't make the inductee list, the finalists, bingo. Briar Horses.
I don't know what that is.
The board game Catan, Catan.
I don't know what that one is either.
Nerf toys, which we still buy today.
Nerf is still not in the Hall of Fame. I would have thought that would have been too.
The Pinata didn't make the cut.
Again, that's been around for how many centuries?
The card game Phase 10.
I've seen that. I've never played it, so I don't know how it works.
Pound Puppies.
Pound Puppies are so cute.
Didn't make it. Rack-O.
Don't know.
And the Spirograph. Now, last year...
I had a Spirograph, too. Again, that was my cousin Tommy's. I could only play when he was not there because he was a jerk face.
Tommy got everything. Come on.
No, Tommy said I got everything.
Tommy still gets everything.
He actually does. He is an only child, so there's a reason for that.
Last year's inductees were the American Girl dolls, which we had a few of those. The board game Risk and Sand from Beach or Sandbox. So
I'm surprised that the dolls, the American Girl dolls, got in ahead of the top. The top has been around forever. I'm not saying that the American Girl dolls shouldn't be in. I'm just surprised that the top just finally made it to the top of the list.
There was probably some voting on their website, so make sure you go out and at least find them. Number 1, go see the National Museum of Play.
If you have kids, and I mean kids of any age, from like little toddlers all the way up to teens, it is an interactive experience. It is fun. When you leave, you feel like really happy and energized, and you really do sleep well that night because there's physical activities, there's mental activities, and even the adults can't kind of help but like, let me play that. Let me see how that works. It's just a cool experience. It is.
Get more info now, YesFM Facebook, Twitter at 967YesFM, and the emergency warning page at yesfm.com.